You may have moved abroad because you wanted more freedom, but if you still feel like everything will fall apart unless you manage every detail, your body may not actually feel safe. It may only feel in control. Control can reduce uncertainty, but it cannot give you the deeper experience of knowing you will be supported when life doesn't go according to plan. I'm Tori Profit, a licensed therapist and creator of Soft Landing Circle. I support Black women who gave themselves permission to leave the US, leave behind a life that no longer served them. And now they're navigating the identity, relationship, and emotional shifts that can follow moving abroad, especially when strength and self reliance have become their only ways of feeling safe. Control can feel like safety because it has worked for you. It helped you research the visa, choose a neighborhood, find an apartment, prepare financially, and make the move. The problem begins when planning becomes the only kind of safety you trust. After the move, that strategy can spread into places where it no longer serves you. You don't simply prepare for a conversation. You mentally rehearse the other person's responses so you won't be caught off guard. You don't carefully choose whom to trust. You wait for certainty that they will never disappoint you. You don't just handle a problem. You quietly decide that no one else can be trusted to handle it correctly. Eventually, control becomes your answer to everything. What if something goes wrong? Control it. What if I need someone? Avoid needing them. What if I make the wrong decision? Wait for certainty. What if I feel overwhelmed? Plan harder. And you can spend so much energy preparing for life that you have very little energy left to experience it. Now, planning isn't the problem. You need accurate information about your visa, insurance, finances, and backup options. But there are experiences you cannot research your way out of. You cannot plan your way out of loneliness. You can't create a spreadsheet that guarantees belonging. You cannot gather enough information to make every relationship predictable. Planning can prepare you for an experience, but it cannot always support you through it. Those are two different things. Before we go any further, I created a free resource called 10 Things Nobody Tells You After Moving Abroad. This is for the woman who handled the logistics of the move and then realized the move was also changing her identity, her relationships, and her sense of safety and belonging. You can download it using the link below. If you already know you need more personalized support, you can also book a soft landing call with me. The resource will help you recognize what may be happening. The call gives you space to slow down and receive some support through it. When you have spent years being responsible for everyone and everything, uncertainty may not feel neutral. Being unsure can feel like being unprepared. Being unprepared can feel like being exposed. And being exposed can feel dangerous when life has repeatedly taught you that you must always know what to do. So you over research and call it discernment. You delay and call it preparation. You refuse help and call it independence. You stay busy anticipating, preventing, and managing because doing something feels safer than admitting, I don't know what happens next. But there may be a quieter fear beneath all that preparation. If you stop controlling everything, you might finally feel how tired you are. You might admit that the life everyone calls brave has also felt lonely. You might recognize that you did not move abroad just to become more efficient at surviving in a prettier location. You wanted room. You wanted choice. You wanted mornings that didn't begin with pressure. You wanted relationships in which you didn't have to prove your usefulness. You wanted a life that could meet you, not another life you had to constantly hold together. Receiving that kind of life requires a different form of safety. Enough trust to ask a question without already knowing the answer. Enough trust to make a thoughtful decision while some uncertainty remains. Enough trust to let someone help without taking the task back halfway through. Enough trust to tell someone you're struggling before you found the solution. This is how control can quietly cost you the ease you moved for. You can live in a peaceful country while mentally preparing for disruption. You can have people willing to support you and still feel alone because you never let them see you without a solution. You can create external freedom while living inside a very narrow emotional range, the range in which you always know what's happening, know what to do, and never have to depend on anyone. That range may feel controlled, but it leaves very little room for intimacy, for rest, for play, surprise, or receiving. And those are part of feeling at home in your own life. Now, I want you to listen for the way control appears in your everyday language. I just need to do a little more research. Let me handle it. I don't want to bother anyone. I need to know exactly what the plan is. Sometimes those statements are accurate, but sometimes they protect you from saying what's more honest. I'm scared to choose without a guarantee. I need reassurance, but I don't know how to ask for it. I'm afraid that needing support will leave me disappointed. The pattern may also appear in your body before you hear the words. Your jaw tightens when plans change. Your shoulders lift while you wait for a reply. Your breathing becomes shallow while your mind creates backup plans for something that hasn't even happened. Your hands reach for more information because information gives you something to do, and doing something can feel safer than feeling uncertain. Think of one situation you have been trying to control this week. Don't solve it yet. Now place both feet on the floor and let your hands rest. Soften your jaw slightly and take one slower breath. You do not have to force yourself to feel calm. Now ask, is there a decision that genuinely needs to be made right now? And pause. Then ask yourself, or is there a part of me that doesn't want to be alone with the uncertainty? Those are two different needs. One may require information, a deadline, or a concrete next step. The other may require reassurance, rest, an honest conversation, or someone who can remain beside you while you don't know. You don't have to turn every feeling into a task. The goal is not to become careless, and it's not to stop planning or ignore warning signs. The shift is learning that your competence does not have to be your only protection. You can prepare thoughtfully without trying to control every outcome. You can check the facts and still admit that you're afraid. You can remain discerning while allowing someone else to contribute. You can be capable and still need reassurance. You can be independent and still let someone stand beside you. A safer identity doesn't say nothing will go wrong. It says, I don't have to face everything alone when something does. And that confidence is not built on protecting every problem. It's built on knowing that uncertainty doesn't automatically mean abandonment. You can pause. You can ask. You can adjust. And you can allow another person to care about what is happening to you, not only what you plan to do about it. Here is the small practice I want you to try within the next 24 hours. Take one situation you've been overthinking and divide a page into two sections. On one side, write what needs a plan. On the other side, write what needs care. Under the plan side, write only the next concrete step, not the next 10 steps. Maybe you need to send one email, confirm one detail, ask one question, or choose a date by which you make the decision. Then look at the care side and ask, what would make this moment feel less lonely? Maybe you need to tell someone, I don't need you to fix this, I just need to say it out loud. Maybe you need to accept an offer of help instead of automatically declining it. Maybe you need to stop researching for the evening and let the information you already have be enough for today. The goal isn't to eliminate control in one day. The goal is to create one small experience in which support is allowed to participate in your safety. This distinction can be difficult to make alone. When you've been the responsible one for a long time, it can be hard to tell the difference between a real problem that needs your attention and an old alarm asking you to tighten your grip. On a soft landing call, we slow that process down. We look at what's been feeling heavy, where you've been trying to think your way into safety, and what your need for control may actually be protecting. You don't need to arrive with the perfect explanation. You don't need to understand exactly why the pattern exists. The call gives you a place to stop managing the experience long enough to hear what you actually need. Book a soft landing call using the link below. This is a real support call, not a scripted pitch. We'll talk about what's been feeling heavy and explore what might help you feel more supported inside the life you created. You can also download 10 Things Nobody Tells You After Moving Abroad if you want a place to begin. The resource can help you recognize the pattern. The call can support you as you begin responding differently, because you are worthy of support and you do not have to carry everything alone.